Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show where my Mac is behaving a little bit better today. So there's that. I have my hard drives. The webcam is working. Everything is good for the world, which is great because it's my birthday. I'm showing off. Here's the shirt my wife got me, which is an awesome patent from 1915 of a specialized film reel. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it does. I might have to look up the patent to see, because it's got some special stuff in there, like in this middle part right here. Anyways, we just watched Menu Planning Cans 1 and 2. And that is raw camera reversal, Kodachrome, beautiful color, and you saw everything. So they shot the footage, they made prints of it, made a negative of it, they cut it up, added sound, of which there was probably some sync sound in there, but not on this reel. Those were recorded separately on a tape. Then they married it, but that's what the clapboard was for. That was a way to mark the scenes, but also if there was a clap, you could use that as a marker for sound when you're trying to sync the sound up. Features my one of my favorite cornet characters. I don't know who she was playing in this. I don't know the actress's name, but she is Kay in More Dates for Kay. She plays the woman who is always looking for a date in high school, but not enough to where she's a slut or slutty, but is always on the make. It's really phenomenal, especially when you compare it to the dating films for boys, which are like, boys were like, no, what do we do? What do we do? And with Kay, it's like, hey, let's go do this. Hey, let's go to a weenie roast. Hey, let's go bowling. Hey, let's go do this set up for this homecoming party. Hey, let's, it's clear guys don't know what's going on, but Kay and other women know what's going on. Anyways, behind me is the scanner, and we have a film set up. This is another film from my friend Albert Stagg. I've been scanning some of his films. This is exciting. Varityper 725. And don't worry, if you haven't seen Varityper 724, I think that they'll recap it so you'll know what's coming up. Anyways, enjoy.
This is the Varityper 725 photo typesetting machine. It puts type images photographically on paper, very fast, very simply, and very economically. The 725 came into being because of something men like Gutenberg, Caslin, and Bedoni didn't even dream about: the information explosion. Printing in their day was an old-fashioned hit-or-miss process involving metal type and awkward presses. Books were expensive to make, and since only a few people could read, not too many were printed anyway. But things are a bit different today. We live in a reading world. The information that's available to us is growing at fantastic rates. And tomorrow's readers will be grasping for books, magazines, and papers faster than the printing industry can produce them. Oh, printers can keep pace all right with their high-speed offset presses, but the hitch is in preparing the type that the presses will reproduce. Conventional typesetting today just can't keep up. The Varityper 725 does keep up. What we've done is taken high-speed, cold typesetting out of the back room and put it in the office, any office. Cold type isn't anything new to Varityper. We even originated it over 80 years ago. We offer people in graphic arts an easy and economical way to set a wide variety of typefaces. In fact, when it comes to composition in general, we've been making headlines for a long time. We know, for instance, that graphic arts people think of quality first. The quality of such men of letters as these. With Varityper, this quality is available to anyone. In the 725, we've developed a photo typesetter that's built like a computer, with a memory bank and integrated circuits, but that just about anybody in any job can operate. Just put on a perforated tape of the job you want set. Set the line spacing and type size. And almost instantly, the 725 photographically sets the type. Up to 20 newspaper lines a minute or 12 characters a second. After the type is exposed, remove the cassette. Place it in the Varityper Processor 735. And in seconds, without a darkroom, you've got copy ready for paste up, photography, and the press. The 725 throws a new light on photo typesetting. Xenon light pulses which shoot through a constantly spinning disc. If we had used a different kind of type matrix, it would have meant the 725 would constantly be starting and stopping. But a continually moving disc means smoother operation, less machine wear and maintenance, and better quality copy. For from one of these 336 character discs comes 3 fonts of the best looking type available in photo typesetters. Whether it be for books, advertisements, newspapers, or job printing, we've got the capitals, the lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols in formats that are used most, all in sizes from 6 to 18 point. Varitypers arrange these styles with simplicity in mind. Newspapers, for example, can set a complete story from just one disc. When the story is set, all the type needed is on one galley sheet, ready for reproduction and home delivery. When it comes to input for photo typesetters, some people tend to get worried. But input doesn't concern Varityper, because we've designed the 725 to accept just about any 6, 7, or 8-channel perforated tape. For any input you choose, program tapes tell the 725 what to do. How to justify lines, when to start, when to stop. And the 725 does it beautifully. The final test of any photo typesetter is its ability to keep on producing quality composition. With Varityper's fully trained servicemen available everywhere, we keep downtime down. Not that our serviceman has a lot to do to maintain the 725, because it's just as easy to service as it is to run. The Varityper 725 produces consistently top-quality composition, economically, fast, and easy for anyone. A good investment when you're getting down to business.
And it just ends. I took graphic design when I was in college from the Raleigh, North Carolina State School of Design, And there was, I feel like there was a Varityper, but it was a far more advanced. It actually had like a CRT, and you would like, type in, and then it would kind of print out the paper, this photo paper. And that got very quickly replaced by laser printers, and what became desktop publishing. So I was working in the computer lab when an early version of PageMaker came out, and an early version of what became Photoshop and Illustrator, and Quark and these other programs. And what was interesting is our graphics design professors were like, computers, they're just not high enough quality. You need to learn how to use this old stuff. So it was all, they were still stuck in this other paradigm. And I guess they were expecting the fact that people would be getting jobs and using this old Varityper stuff and linographic stuff and all this. And they didn't anticipate how quickly there was a switch to these higher quality, or to these new programs, desktop publishing programs, and then the laser printers. So there was a lot of people that were stuck, that were I was going to school with, where they were just like, I haven't used the software, and they're looking for someone who has experience with this. And because I had a work study job to help pay for school, I learned how to use all of it. And so I was able to get jobs just because I knew how to use PageMaker. They weren't very good jobs, but there you go. All right, we had two beautiful Kodachrome films that we just watched. Now let's muck it up a bit with this old, really, really old Encyclopedia Britannica film called Roots of Plants. Enjoy.
Plants of many kinds grow on land and in the sea wherever conditions are favorable. They cannot exist where it is too cold or too dry. The essential parts of the self-sustaining land plant are leaves, stem, and roots. The leaves are the food factories and breathing organs of the plant. The stem carries food and food elements between the leaves and the root. In such plants as the dandelion, the stem is scarcely noticeable. The root, the unseen part of the plant, does important work. It not only holds the plant in place, but absorbs food elements from the soil. It is necessary to dig deeply to uncover the dandelion root completely. Dandelions, carrots, and many other plants have tap roots such as you see here. A tap root is a large main root growing straight downward and having small side roots. The dahlia has a fascicled root. The primary root divides and the branches are enlarged for the storage of plant foods. Fibrous roots occur in all cereals such as corn, oats, wheat, and rye. In the case of rye, the root system survives over one winter, thus giving the plant an early start the following spring. If a rye plant is dug up and the soil is carefully washed off, we find these fibrous roots. As you see, these are numerous, slender, and nearly the same size throughout, all originating near the same place. Here we shall see how roots grow. Notice that there is a tendency for all main roots to grow downward. Remember that the action in all the following growth scenes is speeded up several thousand times. Spots of ink have been placed on this root at equal distances. By noting which spots spread the most, we can locate the region of most rapid growth by watching the spots separating. As you see, this part is near the tip, while the parts further back grow in length hardly at all. Roots find rocks no great hindrance to their progress. The copper in a cartridge is a deadly poison to young roots. If a growing root approaches a piece of copper, it seems to sense the poison and turns aside. But if a part of the tip is cut off, the root still grows and plunges head-on into the poison. It is helpless. The poison has done its work, and the root dies. When crowded together, seedling roots grow straight downwards and do not interfere with each other. Some grasses send roots downward to a depth of 5 or 6 feet. The main root usually sends out side shoots back of the growing part. This is the beginning of branched roots such as are found in trees. The older and larger roots are useful chiefly in providing anchorage, while younger and more tender roots absorb water and food materials. In a close-up view, we can see more clearly how roots develop branches. Notice that in back of the growing part are a countless number of tiny root hairs. These never develop into larger branches or roots. The part of the root that has ceased to grow in length still continues to grow in thickness, and it is not until this time that it begins to send out side shoots or branch roots. Under the microscope, we can see how the bud of a secondary root is forming here beneath the surface. In developing, it actually breaks through the outer wall of cells and then continues to grow as a root, rises in the tube. This persistent force is called osmotic pressure. Osmosis is the process by which root hairs take up water and dissolved minerals through the root network to the main roots and on through the stem and branches to the leaves, where they are made into plant foods. The water secured from the roots and the carbon dioxide taken from the air are combined within the leaves to form starch, which may be changed to other plant foods. These are sent back to all parts of the plant to nourish the living cells. Here, root cells are receiving more sugar than they can use. Therefore, they change this soluble sugar to insoluble starch for future use. Carrots, beets, and other root vegetables are excellent examples of roots that have large amounts of stored starch. In other plants, starch is stored in stems and often in seeds. Now we see the same root cells again, packed with starch grains. This food is stored for the plant's own use, but often it is used by man and animals for their nourishment. But let us see how the plant uses it. Here, a carrot has spent one summer storing food in its root. This remains inactive during the winter, but in the following spring, the plant begins a new growth by sending up stems and leaves which are nourished by the root. It is this second year's growth which will produce seeds. Plants requiring 2 years for their life cycle are called biennials. In this picture, you have had some portions of the story of plant roots. Further experiments which you can easily conduct may prove to you that the low...
Wow. So thank you. Where is it? Thank you for all the coffee people have been buying me. That's one way to wish me a happy birthday. Both William and Matthew bought me coffee by going to ko-fi.com/avgeeks. You can also donate at patreon.com/avgeeks. It's not required that you buy me coffee, but coffee is the social lubricant that keeps my brain flowing. So there's that. That last film, Roots of Plants, it was made in 1931 and featured our good friend, who I always forget his last name, James Brill. James Brill sounded like he was in a closet recording. He might have been in a closet. There might have been like, well, we can't record in this main room because this is where all the sonographers are. Like, oh, well, here's a closet. Here's a microphone. Have at it. Anyways, James Brill was the voice of Encyclopedia Britannica and Irpy prior to that. And so we're happy to hear him. This next film was part of the Cornet collection, and it's not a Cornet film. And I asked the folks who I'm working with there, and they were like, yeah, we don't know where that came from. So, yeah, let's see what this is. It's called Matinee. And this is captured, the audio at the end gets a little because of some motion issues, and the sound was captured and pulled from the soundtrack. So I think I've made it to where you can see the soundtrack, so you can kind of see what's going on. Anyways, here's Matinee. Enjoy.
Chodźcie, chodźcie, panie i panowie, najsilniejsi ludzie na świecie za chwilę tu będą występowali. Murzyn z Afryki, wielki czarny murzyn, rozrywać będzie żelazną mowę.
Come on, get it up!
Panie i panowie, przybywajcie oglądać największe widowisko na świecie. To, co ludzkie oko w życiu nie oglądało. Murzyn obcinający głowy, ręce, nogi. Panie i panowie, magistry w Anglii, we Francji, nigdzie takich rzeczy nie widzieliście. Latające słonie, szalające baby. Panie i panowie, przychodźcie, przybliżajcie się. Nie bój się, dzieciątko, nie bój się. Panie i panowie,
Yee. That queasy soundtrack actually set a wonderful tone for the queasiness of the film. I had not... So, in scanning a film, sometimes I don't sit and watch what's happening in the film. I'm looking at the image. I'm trying to concentrate on the, like all that. And so what was happening with this is, this was on a scanner. It wasn't the scanner behind me. It was another scanner. And it had a little bit of gate weave. And it was at a little bit of an angle because the camera was a little off. And so using this software, what it does is it actually takes that visual soundtrack that was here and makes a long track of it. And with it moving back and forth like that, the overlap creates the sound. So that's what you were hearing. There wasn't a whole lot there, soundtrack-wise, but sorry about that. I don't know. Happy birthday to me. Let's saw a ballerina in half. I think that film was... Did we see it was made in the 70s? Yeah. So there you go. Someone needs to look up Arthur Hirsch and see if he did anything else. See if he went on to make episodes of a soap opera or something. Or was a... I don't know. I've never heard of him before. Anyways, so behind me, I have another film set up. And it looked like it just lost attention. So we're going to watch it. This is... Where is it? Let me get to the title screen. It's Safety Consciousness. I think that's right. Also, so thank you to Kevin. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Jeremy for buying coffee. Very much appreciated. You can buy us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. The thing is that we spend it not only on coffee, but we also buy things like artist tape or film leader or other things. So thank you. All right. So anyways, behind me, film scanner, Safety Consciousness. Enjoy.
Safety consciousness is very important in the prevention of accidents in all industrial operations. Safety consciousness may be defined as awareness of hazards and alertness to danger. No two people are exactly alike in personality and character, nor do they have the same attitudes toward safety. Safety consciousness must be developed in people. Development of proper attitudes depends upon the individual. The following scenes show parents talking to their sons, two different individuals who are getting ready to go out.
Have a good time at the party, Mike. Take care of your brother and be careful driving. Be back home at midnight, okay?
Jeff, you heard your father. Come home with Mike.
Oh, come on, Mom. You're always talking to me like I'm a baby. I'm old enough to take care of myself and know when to come home.
Okay, Jeff. You've been told when you're expected back. If you can't understand, maybe you should stay home.
Okay.
Just as Jim and Pete have different attitudes and react differently to instructions, a workman also has a different individual attitude, good or bad, towards safety and accepts instructions in a different manner than his buddy. Al Johnson had a good attitude towards safety, but needed further training. He was eager to learn about the hazards connected with his job and readily accepted safety instructions from his supervisors. Herman Smith had a bad attitude towards safety. For example, he thought it was a waste of time to shut down his machine before removing the gear guards, and he also thought that he could lubricate the gears while they were in motion. His supervisor had cautioned him many times about these hazardous practices. One day, Herman was lubricating the gears of a power saw while it was running, when his hand suddenly caught between the gears. The result, he lost several fingers on his right hand. This will be a constant reminder of his disregard for safety precautions. Basically, there is very little difference between today's workers and those of past years. However, modern machinery, changing environment, improved education, and increased leisure time have made profound changes in the general attitude of today's workmen. Men living under today's modern conditions require a considerable amount of self-discipline for the development of safe work attitudes. Quite often, they will resent anything which might interfere with the pursuit of their recreational activities or hobbies. They like to devote almost as much time to outside activities as they do to their jobs. When the job becomes of secondary importance, it leads to haste on the part of workmen. This, in turn, induces them to finish assignments in a hurry and to take shortcuts. These workmen neglected to install the frame ground on an electric motor back at the plant. In their hurry to go hunting, both men showed a disregard for safety by not completing the job or doing it correctly. The unsafe attitude displayed by these men could have caused a serious accident. A fellow workman could have been electrocuted. To develop and maintain safety consciousness, we must keep up proper safety training and education. Today's jobs demand safe attitudes and cooperation in safe work practices. Safe attitudes stimulate people to show respect for the other fellow. They make us more safety conscious. On the other hand, unsafe attitudes which create hazards are usually the result of improper safety training. Often the new man receives most of his training from an older and more experienced workman. But what if the experienced workman has never practiced safety? What will he teach the new man? The new man will probably follow the examples of his instructor and develop unsafe work methods. Every new employee should be indoctrinated with safety consciousness. This is best accomplished by proper training from a qualified instructor. To prevent accidents, modern mechanized plants and mines require constant mental alertness on the part of all employees. The lack of alertness can often lead to accidents, especially when an employee permits his mind to wander, a condition better known as daydreaming.
3-3, bases loaded, 2 out. Here comes the next pitch. There's a long drive to left field, going. It's a home run.
Disregard for safety is often the result of frustration. A frustrated person is accident-prone. How often do we encounter workmen who say, "I'll get heck if I do, and I'll get heck if I don't"? Frustration is an enemy of safety. This type of mental attitude may often be apparent to one's co-workers and friends. In a case like that, a frank discussion with them may be quite beneficial to the frustrated person. Proper advice can be helpful. Just having a good listener may sometimes solve the problem. Every person has problems. Some may be easy to solve. Others may require consultations with friends or family, and some may even require professional help. Often, circumstances present us with problems of a more serious nature, such as financial difficulties and family illness. These cannot be overcome so quickly and easily. When a workman's mind is preoccupied with a personal problem, his job safety consciousness suffers. When this happens, he must make a special effort to have a safe attitude for the sake of his own safety and the safety of his fellow workers. Selling safety may sometimes be difficult. Some workmen think they already know all there is to know about safety and don't want to be bothered again. These workers must be encouraged to change their attitudes. They must be shown the benefits they obtain by changing their attitudes about safety, not only at work, but also off the job and in the home. Remember, you, yes, you, must develop a safe attitude and maintain consciousness in safety so that you are able to obtain and enjoy the benefits from your job and provide for the welfare of your loved ones.
I can check that gear in a minute, so don't touch anything, okay?
Get down from there! Now! Hey! Turn it over! What if it bumped that control by accident? You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you? You don't work on equipment when the engine's running.
Well, I told him not to touch anything. All right, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking? You mean you'll work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety? Here, shake hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger. Meet a man you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Fingered Joe. I was young and feisty, never did things by the book. Just let me get my toolbox and I'll take myself a look. I climbed up on a dozier with my mechanic's pride. Said, you can keep it running, friend, while I poke around inside. Shake hands with danger, meet a guy you ought to know. I used to laugh at call me Three-Fingered Joe. Although I learned a lesson, I forgot it soon enough. The nicks and burns and scratches showed the young ones I was tough. Till another morning I was grinding on some steel. My other hand got careless and fed my skin into the wheel. Shake hands with danger, step right up and say hello. Grinding wheels and metal are what made me Three-Fingered Joe. I've seen mechanics burning, and I've seen them take a fall, just to save themselves a minute. I've seen them lose it all. I've watched them courting trouble, seen them take a chance and lose. They get careless for a moment and spend a lifetime with the blues. Shake hands with some friends I used to know. Compared to them, I'm lucky to be just Three-Fingered Joe.
Yes, of course. Of course I had to show that film. Or to show that re-envisioning of the Shake Hands with Danger song. Two reasons. I just showed Safety Consciousness, which was a film that I got from Albert Stegg in Massachusetts. And yeah, that featured a Three-Fingered Joe in there, definitely. And also the fact that my wife commissioned that re-envisioning of the Shake Hands with Danger song from local musicians. And so, you know, there's an anniversary of showing it. I think it's the 3rd anniversary of the song, 2nd anniversary. I can't remember. But anyways, we love it. It's great. It's a great way to end it in today's show. But thank you so much for watching. That's a true gift to me. Buying me coffee is also a wonderful gift. But yeah, just supporting what we're doing here is phenomenal. We're almost at 700 episodes. I think it'll be at the end of the month. It'll be 700 episodes, but it's really great. I enjoy showing these things. I enjoy your comments and seeing lots of familiar names popping up every day. So thank you so much, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I have tasked my intern Colin with repairing splices on some of these commercial films, these compilation reels of commercials. So we're going to try to watch those tomorrow and get our 70s advertising groove on. But everybody have a great rest of your day. As always, watch out for the Rewind Devil, the 919 Rewind Devil, as we want you to please rewind and love each other. So we will see you tomorrow. Everybody take care. Bye.